To accumulate wealth, you need to generate a surplus, which is simply the money left over after all your expenses have been paid. So your income minus your living expenses is equal to your surplus. Generating a surplus is the primary way to build wealth over your lifetime. As the interest in your surplus that you've invested adds up, and as you add future surpluses, your wealth will grow even larger. This is how wealth not only accumulates, but actually also accelerates over time. The results associated with coupling the power of time and savings can be powerful. If you save $5,000 at the start of each year from age 25 to age 65, so for 40 years, at a return of 8% annually, you will accumulate $1,398,905. Now, if you wait until age 30 to start investing that $5,000 per year at 8%, you'll only accumulate $930,511, which is $450,000 less than if you started at age 25, which is just a 5-year difference. So the takeaway is this: strive to generate a surplus, begin saving that surplus as early as possible, and keep your money working for you as long as possible. Failing to generate a surplus is unwise, but what's even worse is continuously incurring a deficit. That's when your expenses are greater than your income. That is unsustainable, and it can lead to extreme financial distress. Overspending leads to more borrowing, whether it's loans or credit cards, and borrowers end up paying more interest each month rather than actually earning interest on their saved surpluses. The interest that you're paying on those loans and credit cards, plus the continued overspending, will require even more borrowing and more interest, so it becomes a kind of a spiral. This quickly depletes wealth over time and makes it more difficult to achieve long-term financial goals. So continuously incurring deficits is unsustainable, and it can lead to extreme financial stress or distress, such as bankruptcy. So when deficits occur in your budget, whether it's paying for school or some sort of professional training, transportation, etc., you should take action. You need to increase your income and decrease your spending to cover those deficits so they don't continue to occur and derail you from building financial wealth. Emergency savings should be in place to minimize these types of deficits. The savings ratio indicates the percentage of income that you are actively saving, and so you calculate your savings ratio as your savings divided by your income. A targeted savings rate is the savings ratio over a specific time period. So for example, if you're less than 30, your target should be to save 12% toward retirement. If you're between the ages of 30 and 40, then your target needs to be a little bit higher. It should be at least 15%. And if you're over 40, you're going to need a target retirement savings rate of 20% per year for every year until you reach retirement age of 65. So savings includes contributions to a retirement plan, your regular plan savings, and any surplus that you definitely will save. Income consists of your wages, salaries, interest, dividends, child support, and other sources of regular income before you pay taxes. If you're younger than age 30, again, learn to save as much as possible. A minimum target savings ratio of 12% is typically what we recommend to help you reach future retirement needs. So that means you've got to save 12 cents of every dollar that you earn. Target savings rates help to keep you progressing toward long-term goal achievement. And if you want to be financially independent earlier than the general retirement age of 65 or 67, then you'll need to save even more than these targeted savings rates One strategy for saving is payroll deduction. And so that happens when an employer takes money automatically from your paycheck and then contributes it directly to a retirement savings plan or some other savings account. So when you first start working, you might find it difficult to save money on a regular basis. And so it may be easier to just have your employer take money out of your paycheck automatically. Millions of Americans use this powerful savings tool. However, if a payroll deduction is not available, there is another strategy that you can use to automatically increase your savings rate over time. Simply commit to putting half of every future raise toward creating an income surplus. And so we call this one Save More Tomorrow. Here's how it works. Assume that your income will increase an average of 5% a year through raises. If you start by saving 3% of your income, after 4 years, you will have an annual savings rate of 13%. Better yet, you'll still increase your take-home pay each year because you're not saving your entire raise. The total debt to income ratio shows the percentage of your income that you are spending to pay down your debts. The ratio is calculated as your total required debt payments divided by your gross income, and that whole value is multiplied by 100. So what you do is add up all of your monthly debt payments. So this includes minimum payments for credit cards, car loans, student loan debts, rent or mortgage payments. And so if it's a mortgage, you would include the principal, interest, insurance, and property tax. And then any other required debt payments that you might have would go into this figure. Then figure out your gross monthly income. So this is your income before any taxes or other expenses have been deducted from your paycheck. Then you divide the total monthly payments by your gross monthly income and multiply the result by 100. Your monthly debt payments should not exceed 36% of your gross income. If the ratio is higher than that, then you may lack the financial flexibility necessary to save and build financial wealth, as well as respond to unexpected events. However, sometimes you may need to take on debt in the short term to increase your future financial wealth later on. As a student, you may be struggling to just keep your finances afloat while avoiding debt. This is a totally reasonable financial strategy. You should be focused on doing well in school and building your human capital. You may only be able to work part-time or work full-time at jobs that are flexible with your schedule. You might end up taking out student loans, which can be a valuable and necessary source of income while you're in college. Working builds your human capital and provides income to help you avoid debt. And some employers even help pay for school. Keeping borrowing to a minimum will give you greater financial flexibility and peace of mind after you graduate.